Okay, here we go. So we're in Boston, and I've been here for about a month. And to be honest, I've debated about how I should make this first video, whether it should be a vlog, a day in the life, or if I went to some sporting event to try to keep it interactive. But I realized that I would be doing myself an injustice, as well as you guys watching, if I didn't have this initial conversation to the camera that I'm about to have right now. So, me more than anyone, or I guess I would consider for myself, that this is one of the biggest stages of my life. Coming here to Boston for the first time, truly having, I guess you could call it a home base, because 100% of the videos on my channel or documenting my life is an entrepreneur, online business, and growing and traveling have been outside of the United States. So, it's a little bit of foreign territory to me, to be completely honest. On now, I have to document my life here in Boston. I'll be here a ton of the year. Obviously, I have so many trips and travels planned throughout the year. I'll probably be out of the U.S. for half the year or somewhere along those lines, with so much stuff coming up. But there is a half of the year where I'll be in Boston documenting my life and meeting people as an online business person, as an entrepreneur in this city. Now, Boston is an incredible city. My first month here has been unbelievable. Great cafe culture, great people, great apartment. This is the first time I've had an apartment that I've actually, to my name at a long-term stay. So it feels nice. And, quarter one, or these first few months of the year, when it comes to building a business, are extremely important. And when you live in the US on the East Coast, or when you're spending an extended amount of time there, it's freezing outside. So all you have to do is work and really set yourself up for the end of the year, right? Of course, there's other things to do, but this is an important timeline. And this last month has been a ton of work, right? I went from Southeast Asia right here to Boston to get back into the grind mode, and that's what's going to happen for last month and this month as well. And in March, I'm heading off to Italy and Ireland to start traveling again. And mid-year will be European summer, and then I have plans for the end of the year again. But I think this is one of the most important changes, obviously not for just me as an entrepreneur and being an online business, but as well as for the channel and how I'm documenting my life. So when I go out of the country and when I'm doing travel vlogs and taking you guys through how I'm working, how I'm living as we're traveling and going on hikes and adventures and whatnot, um, this is going to be completely different, a little bit like a 180, right? Like there's not always going to be a different adventure. I have the same cafes I kind of go to that I work at. I have a co-working space upstairs that I work at. Of course, somebody doing some fun things here and there, catching a game or going to a sporting event, or maybe doing an entrepreneur meetup or something along the lines of that. But a lot of these conversations that I'm going to have with the camera when I am based here in Boston and shooting these kind of videos are going to be a lot of just tracking my progress and maybe a little bit of inspiration to people out there who are starting online businesses or just getting into business in general. So there's going to be a lot of this. You might see this backdrop a lot, or maybe facing that side of the apartment. It's only 700 square feet or so you're only going to see so many different parts of this whole place. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of talking, a lot of inspiring. Of course, I have endeavored to do like cinematic videos, and that will all come. But I think this is going to be cool to give this perspective and portion of it, just trading some ideas and knowledge, and really just what it looks like of me in my stage as an entrepreneur. Because when we look back at this 5, 10, 15, 25 years from now, and I'm still shooting these videos and in more business ventures and amazing accomplishments, I think it's going to be cool to look back on and look back at my mentality and how I kind of spoke to the camera, inspired you guys, or inspired just other people starting when I wasn't at that level, right? So like a lot of people on YouTube, I think you would see, are either like true beginners documenting the journey, which I love it. I wish I could have done. Or you see people who are ultra successful who are just kind of sharing their stories of living a really expensive lifestyle. And I don't think I don't fit either of those two classifications. Kind of just a guy in the middle of it who's just trying to build up businesses and keep freedom going on forever. So I think this is going to be a little bit of a unique story, or I know it's going to be a unique story. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to document, just in the US as an entrepreneur and then traveling frequently, and then who knows what's in store, right? In a year, I could be living in Milan and or in Bali or in Southeast Asia. Who knows, right? Always up in the air with everything. This portion and period of my life is going to be extremely important, not just as an entrepreneur, but just a 25-year-old, who's trying to live life and trying to make the highest quality of life and still work really hard in the businesses. So I'm excited. I'm excited to show you guys anything and everything about Jay LaRosa and where I'm at as a 25-year-old. So to me, more than anything, these videos, these vlogs, these documentations and journeys are for me to look back on, or for you to guys look back on when I am at a certain, considerable, successful level and in a much better position than maybe where I am now. I'm not saying I'm in a bad position. Obviously, it's very well, but maybe financially and more freedom, more money and whatnot. But yeah, I'm excited for this, and I hope you guys are just excited as me, and I hope I can help everybody out who watches these videos just 1% of the time or 1% better with a little bit of inspiration and motivation, so you guys can take something away from my journey. And then of course, when I get into traveling like Milan, like Ireland, when I'm going there in March, and then eventually European summer and back to Asia and whatnot, it's just the traditional, vlogs and travel and montages and living life on the run. So it's going to be a cool balance. I'm excited for it, but I think this was the best way to do it justice, to talk to the camera in this form or fashion, as you could say, and just say that you guys are extremely early to the journey. If you thought you were early 6 months ago, you're still very, very early, and you'll still be early for 2 or 3 years, but at least we'll be able to talk about it in 5, 10, 15 years when things pop up and different opportunities come. So, yeah, I will see you guys in the next one, and I hope I can keep these ones exciting, as just as exciting as the travel ones. So, yeah.